Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace. Pardon if my mount is bouncing. I just bought it recently. My camera is bouncing, and I don't know why it's doing this. So it hasn't. I've used it, but all of a sudden today it starts bouncing. I tightened it up, and I've been doing videos with drive vlogs and such for like 10 years on my original channel, so I'm not new to this, but it's weird. This mount, I'm new to it. Anyway, this video I'm going to talk about, doing these food deliveries, and it's not always just food. I don't like to name which ones and anymore. I did it first a little bit, not much, but I've got several apps, and sometimes I use more than one. Usually I have more than one on, but one of them I found out I did myself a disservice by having it on, because I never got the if it was behind the other one. The other one was open in front, or however you want to call it. The way people call things changed over years. But if it was the one behind it, I didn't hear a ring. So my acceptance rate went down the tubes real fast. And I actually wrote them and said, why don't I have a sound? And since then I've heard it. So go fig. But anyway, I want to talk about different things about this, especially about pay. I've been doing this since July of last year. This is March 26, 2024. And I've been doing it since the end of, like the last week of July last year. And I've used, like I say, I have a few apps. And something I've seen rather consistently lately during this first part of this year is how low the pay has gone. The tips, okay, the base fare or whatever. I'm going to call them all the same thing. I'm not going to say which calls this way and all that stuff. No, I'm going to call them all the same thing. Like contract violations. We just call all of them on any app that, instead of whatever each one calls it. Yeah, some don't even call it anything, but that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I've only received 2, so we'll leave it at that. And I find both of those suspicious, especially since when am I responsible for what happens after I take the picture of leaving the picture you have to send in before you can do anything else, on that app, showing that you delivered it, and it shows the picture of that on their doorstep. Just leave it door. Why am I responsible for what happens after that? I know you don't have to tell me that they're pointing the finger at us, but they need proof. It's like I told them repeatedly. This is Texas. You have to have proof. One of the manager, I said, what? So I can go outside and call the police and say my neighbor stole my my lawn chair. I don't have any lawn chairs, but stole my lawn chair off my front porch or something like that. Whatever. I don't have any front porch, so anyway. But and then therefore that my neighbor has to buy me a new one, or gets a citation, a ticket, or whatever. I said that's basically what that is. And I'm not responsible for what happens after I do that. If they're going to try to blame it on me, and they didn't pay me for it, by the way, when I went to do my taxes, since I didn't make that over that limit on that one, because I quit after that. I refused to do any more after that. I've said this on more than one video, but yeah, I went to do my taxes. I had to go back and, as I was advised, to just count my, I don't know if this is true, but it should be. It was by the right people. And counted my deposits. Well, that was the last day I worked, and I did 3 orders that day, and I only had 2 deposits. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay, I had to pull off for a minute there, or more than a minute right now. Yeah. I was having an allergy reaction, and nobody else on the road, any direction, none. I was at a, coming up to a 4-way stop, nobody in any direction, but of course one came up right behind me. I was, yeah, so I had to go up and pull over. Yeah. Anyway, so what was I talking about? I just see a weird little car next to me. What are they doing? I guess it's a race car, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, lots of race cars around here. Seriously. Or they're just, what are they called? Sports cars. But this one has a drawing on it. I think it's, what is it? Anime? Yeah. Something like that. Anyway, painting. Not drawing. Painting. Anyway. So lately, so where was I? I think I was talking about, oh my goodness, what was I talking about? I cannot remember what I was talking about. Oh my goodness, because it was down the road there, and I've been sitting here, and I had to try to make a clip, and then I had to delete it and all this stuff. But anyway, about the pay, I was talking about, I think about the, they didn't pay me taxes, and then the other one, another one, none of them, according to them, did I make enough. But what I heard from, and I'm leaving out the name intentionally, I leave out names of places that I speak to intentionally. Yeah, and did you know that one of these I read, their contract, they said, 2 of them sent me contracts all over again. I thought that was interesting. And one of them had just been made. And I went and dig deeper on their website and found, or one of them, 2 of them had two different things. I went, really? But how much they can know about you and have about you, and this other one was a whole big thing about because I didn't make enough. I printed out something, and it says how much they took out of my money, and they didn't deposit that amount. And I went deeper and deeper and to find that it's about insurance, auto insurance. Well, I had to get auto insurance, and I remember calling somebody on one of the apps at least about it, and I called several people about it, and one of the things I heard was they really don't do much of anything. So it doesn't really cover you that much. So anyway, it was about like funny things I was thinking about, like the when a customer goes and takes away your tip because they felt you were wrong. And I know 2 of them so I know I have at least 2. I'm pretty sure. Because one of them was not too far from where I am right now, and it was somebody, and I picked it up, I think right here, one of those kits, and of course I'm leaving out another word, a kit, for a home kit. It was a mail, and I got to the house, so what, I pick it up, no big deal to me, and I got to his house, and he made a lot, very well known about his opinions on things. And I'm from Texas. This is Texas. I do North and Northeast Texas, up north of Dallas. I mean, not totally all North Dallas, but north of Dallas and suburbs. Some are cities unto themselves, and Northeast too. But I didn't grow up here. I grew up in Texas, but not here. But I do know the houses to avoid. I have a pretty good clue of what I call Bubba and Bubette homes and houses, and yeah. And this was definitely one, man. Definitely made his opinions on everything well known. Plus, when there's so many Bubba trucks, and the driveway is packed with Bubba trucks and a boat, an old boat, and the front door is hidden behind a brick wall. I've only seen that 3 times ever in my lifetime. So, and he was ordering a kit. I would have to go inside of that. That wasn't going to happen. Just was not going to happen. So I left it on the boat. Well, that's not all. There was I think I mentioned the fog light, and on the end of something, and the wire, the electricity wire for it, cable, ran from it across. And anytime I've ever seen that, I've seen it twice since I've been doing these. Anytime I see that, even before then, like I said, I know Bubbas and Bubettes. and from my youth. Nope, not happening. I wasn't going into that. That was pretty scary. It was the middle of the day. No, thank you. And I was certain he was not going to be appreciative of it. He probably wanted to come out with his suspicion and yell at me and tell me all about his views on things. I actually had a guy I delivered who came out. He was around my age. Maybe he was, say maximum 10 years younger, if that. And yeah, when you're my age, decades is okay. But he started telling me his views about people, and I was like, oh, I don't agree with you. I didn't tell him I didn't agree. I just gave him the look, and I know how to deal with those. My degrees are in psychology and sociology, so I know how to deal with people like that. I can't do it, and it's just natural. Whatever happens, how I deal with them. I'm very polite, but I get my point across. Believe me, not yelling or anything like that. Just my view. I didn't appreciate his views. How he was, prejudice, plain and simple prejudice. And he was, nope, no thank you. I don't want to associate with you. So here's your order, goodbye. I didn't say that, but you get the picture. I'm very subtle, but I'm subtle, yet the point gets across. Anyway, what's going on here? Sorry, I thought I turned it off. I thought I turned it off. But it's kind of funny. I thought I made the clip go off, but apparently, I don't know if these two people know each other, but a guy jumped out of his Jeep and ran to the car in front of him. And no, they don't. They're not going the same way, or are they? Yeah, it looks like they are. But the guy got in front, and the guy behind him jumped out of his Jeep, ran up to the car in front of him, and slammed the gas thing shut, the gas lid, whatever it is, what covers it, gas cover, and ran back to his Jeep, and the guy that was in it jumped out and started talking, I guess they may have been together. They may have been following one another or something. One should hope, because that guy got out and they were really young, both of them, so maybe. But anyway. Okay, let me try all this all over again. Let's get my way out of there. And the kids, I guess they're at lunch and they're walking around, and I don't put I'm talking teenagers. I don't put anybody's kids, even teenager minors, in my videos. I just don't do it. There's COPPA, look it up. Rules, laws, whatever it is. I'm not a perfect being, though. Okay. So anyway, there was I was, trying to turn there in that turning lane, and there was a truck came. I was sticking out because there were other people in that lane too. So I was there, and this truck came on the other side of me, to the right of me in that lane that I was stuck in, half in and half out, and he just kept going like he was going to hit me. Yeah, idiot. Those are Bubba's. Okay. So I was talking about the Bubba guy. I knew he was going to take back my tip, and he did. So I was laughing, because no way am I going to subject myself. And I've had other ones, but they didn't take my tip back. Like one of them, it was at nighttime in the road. The roads weren't like what you see here. The roads were, this is a very wealthy county, and they overall have nice roads, but sometimes all of a sudden it changes to asphalt roads, no shoulders, no medium, no lines down the road, no lights at night to light up the road, no street lights at all in any kind. And you drop off, you slide or something, and you slide off like the wind. We have a real bad wind here, but it'll push you off, and it's game over, because it's so deep. The drop off's so deep. But anyway, I mentioned this about wind. Yesterday I went out to go for dinner to try to do some of these deliveries, and the wind right at the bad part of the road, the wind pushed me so hard, and it was only supposed to be like 20 to 25, but I'm guessing they had wind gusts. And I turned around, did a U-turn, turned around, went back home. No thank you, I know better. I'm driving 45 years. So to get back to this, these pay, let's get to this part. Skip the rest, I've done enough. But lately the tips so bad. I mean, some of the pay is just the $2 or $2.58 seems to be a number. Really low. Or no matter which app. Some of them are like one of them, I think that they have to tip at least $2, or whether or they don't have to tip at all. I can't remember, but $2 I think is the minimum it will say. But then they can take the tip back. So I don't know, maybe not. We also have really bad pollen here. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's been extremely high. Is what I think it says. Extremely high lately. Anyway, so I am not surprised when many of my offers, which I don't take, say $2 for like 2.2 miles. $2. Somebody actually, I mean, it's not the customer. Customer doesn't know what we're getting paid. They do not know. I used to do them. I used to be a person who ordered. I only did 2 of these and got food poisoning both times, so I stopped. 2 different apps. But I stopped. But I used to do a lot with the groceries, and I wouldn't know what they were getting paid. Do you know what they're getting paid? Do you know how to figure it out? Those people, I'm talking to the people who are always blaming the customer. Really? You think it's the customer's fault? Seriously? Since when? The customer does not know. The customer does not know what we're getting paid on each order. Now, if they just didn't tip, they might think, like I did back then. We're talking back before 2020. And since then, but back then, when I first started doing it, before I knew that, I would think they got the delivery fee. That was theirs. I'm like, why am I paying so much more for these groceries, plus paying the delivery fee, and then, a subscription fee, and then, you see, they're wanting me to give them a tip too? I didn't know all this. I still tipped, and I tipped well. I tipped at least 20%. I've stopped doing that. I sure have. I went back in the day when I was doing 20%. Some of the people were really bad. Now if they were really good, like getting in contact with me, keeping up, letting me know, or it took them a long while, but they were still in contact with me, I would put a tip on the door. Also, I tipped on the service, and then I tip on, even a little baggie with a tip in it. Sometimes one of them I tipped her $10 additional, $10 on the door additional. If they're doing a good job, that's what it's supposed to be about. If you can see this person's actually putting some effort into it, that makes a world of difference, in my view. That's how I see it. Some people might not get. I just had groceries delivered yesterday, and poor people. I didn't put any tip on the door, but this person kept getting lost, and because I can watch and see where they're going and all that. Wow, it's not that bad, not that confusing that I would know. And yes, it was nighttime, and I leave my porch light on. I don't have a porch, I just have a door next to the door. But anyway, I really, to get back to these, I really don't know what to do about. Do I really want to waste my time? At this time of the year, the summer was great. That's what I had as a reference. It was great. Yeah, the tips were really nice, and each of them with the offers, none of this $2 stuff. One of them, I'm telling you, I did it, and it had some kind of a bonus or a boost, or like I want to say it, call them all the same thing, a bonus. if you did this or that. And they took that off of my base pay. Seriously, one of these apps. And so the base pay wound up being like $1 and some 13 cents or something like that. And I'm like, what the crap? You know, right? I didn't know they could go that low, but yeah, apparently, and I mean that in more than one way. Go that low. So anyway, I'll be glad when they get this, and it's going to be again a Chick-fil-A. We're glad when they get that open, because man, they get the business. Let me tell you, and here in Texas, I don't know about where you live, but Chick-fil-A gets the business. And if I go sit at a Chick-fil-A, I'm going to get. I used to say McDonald's, but it seems like Chick-fil-A is beating them. You know, you're going to get at least one order, but McDonald's lately hasn't been doing it for me. Yeah, I don't know, but anyway. I don't know how to think about this, because, like I said, my reference was started doing them at the end of July, and you know, and that's my personal here in my market is Texas. We don't get paid as much, but we don't spend as much for homes, for just living expenses all around. You know, it's not that as high as other places, so. I know that difference. Like I said, my degrees are in psychology and sociology. They actually taught at college and university, so I understand the difference in markets and stuff like that. And so what's here is different. It's less. So I could say, say it says, when I looked it up, it says that people make around 17 an hour. I'm like, since when? I think the most I've made in the hour is probably 27. And that was the most. That was during the summer. And now sometimes it's good to get any. I can sit out for a while and nothing happens. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna try to get to work now.